Scotland. Birthplace to some of the world's most renowned and influential artists. A country known for a strong sense of patriotic community. Glasgow is home to some of the country's bold artists and, shall we say, more creative types. As well known as Glasgow is for its creative output, it still has some subcultures which are not as strongly embraced.
Bang! Fucking bang! My name's Sam Small and I'm from the future. Let me explain. I'm standing over 6 of my own dead bodies, one for each time that I've travelled. There's me as a woman. The first time I went back in time, I met my own mum when she was pregnant with me. A strange feeling, seeing a bump that I used to occupy. I said hello, asked her if she was excited for the pregnancy. She said she was, they'd been trying for a while and thought it might have been impossible. She asked me what my name was, I said you don't want to know. She said that looked familiar and said I'm sure we'll meet soon. That changed me again, made me taller, broader, looked a lot more like my father than my mother. I don't know what part of these meetings made each of these changes. It's not an exact science, but I continued to travel. The third time I travelled I went back to the beginning, right to the beginning, trying to prove that God never existed. I did meet a carpenter called Jesus, but I didn't see any miracles. He said it was timing. It was my own fault for getting there late, but it's okay if you missed him because there's 12 pals over there writing a book about him. He said it didn't matter. Even if you had seen him, Sam, man, you'd still want more proof. He said, I love you, and I know you've travelled a long way, but sometimes you've just got to have faith. Right.
I came to this poetry and hip hop night in the heart of Glasgow to ask Scottish rapper Spawn Zero some questions about what he thought of his country's reaction to his art form.
Only way I know, it's a very new album, this is all new. Deal with it. Yeah. I'm not doing this well as your night thing. Never feel like I'm doing the right thing. I can sit alone, overthink something made up. Go get out my number, we'll see what the night brings. I was thinking by now, I'll be well equipped. Went along with the plan till it led to shit. I'm not saying life is like in the street of suffering, but I just hope that when it comes to death, it's quick. No, I don't mean to be so negative. I'm working real hard to forget the shit my therapist. Things are repressed, all these stressful events, so then my mind will let me quit. She said, do your work to get the best of it. Don't ever settle for less cause they expected it. You're making me nervous, I'm fucking with my estimate. Looking at the check, but who's the rest of it?
My name's Spawn Zero, and I've been making hip hop for nearly 7 years now. I used to play in bands before, and literally out of nowhere heard something in Scottish hip hop. The first and only thing I'd ever heard, and I loved it instantly, and it was, I don't know, it gelled really easily, and I always wrote songs. I wrote songs since I was like 13 years old or something, and it was all like I said, it was in bands, so it was like, we're talking like rock band crap, like, but I was still writing my own music. I wrote poems since I was like 8 years old and stuff, like, it's always in me, but as a culture, like, I don't know, for something that isn't very big, it's got a huge like cult following, even if it is just the rappers themselves, but now we're at a point where there's a lot of fans in it now. When I first started, especially like I come from a small town, I come from quite Livingston, Glasgow and Edinburgh. I've always had big music scenes. Livingston had a big music scene, but we're talking like rock and indie bands. Like that was it. But I mean, there was gigs all the time. There was live music happening everywhere. As like I said, as going from that to being an MC, even down to the people you talk to, even your own friends, you say to them like, oh, I just started taking up rapping, like, rapping? Like, you can't do that in my Scottish accent, that's fucking stupid, like. But, like I said, I think, and once again, it's all just, you need that initial listen. It's really easy to make fun of just by saying it, like, I've not heard Vietnamese hip-hop, well, I might have, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it's going to be bad or good, but I ain't heard it, so why would I pass a judgment on it? But, definitely there's a big difference between saying that I was a rapper 4 years ago or something as opposed to saying it now. Now, it's like, I don't know, it has a bit more weight to it, and yeah, it's good. It's definitely picked up, and we've got purely Shogun that to thank for it. We needed.
Paisley rapper Joe Herring, also known as Shogun, gathered almost unheard of exposure when his video for Vulcan blew up, where it currently sits at almost 2.5 million views.
The amount of people that say to you, this isn't going to go big, like, no one wants to listen to Scottish hip hop. And
so why is it that the people of Scotland would reject arguably one of their most natural and homegrown forms of artistry? I spoke to Glasgow rapper Wee D to find out his opinions on the cultural perception of the music. Just to open up, how long have you been doing Scottish hip hop, and on that time what do you feel the general cultural perception has been to the music?
So I've been doing it since 2006, started recording in Coatbridge College on a sound production engineering course, and you know, it was me and another person, a guy called Mako. I think nowadays back then it was quite difficult to get any recognition, get gigs and stuff like that. There just didn't seem to be a lot of activity. Don't know if that's because I wasn't aware of it, or whether that it was because there was genuine lack of activity. The perception of it's always been quite negative in my mind, especially at like a corporate world and stuff like that, at a corporate level. People see it as a very negative influence on young people, whether that's in terms of drug culture, gang culture, violence. They see it as something that encourages young people to make wrong decisions, that champions, you know, life imprisonment and stuff like that. And it's very hard to sort of permeate that exterior. Done a couple of workshops. I got some funding when I used to work with Enable, and I was overlooking young people with autism spectrum disorder, and we used hip hop as a positive tool to get them to communicate about how they were feeling. And I think stuff like that has sort of changed the way people are perceiving it. So we're steadily seeing people starting to engage with it a lot more. But certainly since it's really birthed in the 80s, in mainstream culture, it's been viewed as very negative.
Do you feel that I've noticed in my time in Scottish hip hop that the scene of Scottish rappers specifically is a strong sense of community? I feel like because people within Scotland kind of reject the music, there is a kind of a brothership between the people that make the music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's specific to Scotland, or do you feel like that would happen anywhere? Or is there anything within Scottish hip hop that is exclusive to the Scottish culture?
I can't really comment on what happens anywhere. I think that certainly it's amplified in Scotland because we're a small circuit, and most of the rappers here come from either Glasgow or Edinburgh, which are only 40 miles apart. So you've got, especially in Glasgow and Edinburgh, you've got people that are very close to each other, and they go out and they support each other's gigs and stuff like that. As a community, we're all sort of, or as a sort of creative culture, we're all fighting over the same resources, so it makes no sense for us not to work in partnership. You know, there's promoters that are working with Scottish hip hop artists regularly that have their favourites, have people that they feel they want to invest time in. You've got videographers there that are helping out too, you've got community record labels, you've got other artists, man. So there is a strong sense of brotherhood, and there's a strong sense of connectivity, and I think it's due to the fact that a lot of us know we're fighting against the odds to try and make any real impact.
Well, we may never know why Scotland doesn't accept the hip hop artist that's produced. What we do know is that these artists will continue to work and push the boundaries of what can be done in this hip hop heartland.